Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from Phoenix, Arizona with Covenant Pro Wrestling Uproar 1.25. My name is James Randall, and we have an action-packed night for you here tonight. And we're starting off right now with tag team action. Kings Road, Tony Samuels, and Dan Darnister taking on the team of Benjamin Boulder and Morgan Sharp. Of course, Kings Road made their debut here in Covenant Pro Wrestling at Ultimatum, and now they're looking to continue the path that they're blazing here. But a brand new team, Morgan Sharp and Benjamin Boulder, former TV champion and former tag champions, looking to carve out a path of their own. Ladies and gentlemen, if we talk about someone that is on a tear, on a winning streak, look no further than the last gunslinger, the renegade Morgan Sharp. Morgan Sharp has not had a loss in many, many months, and he looks to continue that here tonight. Morgan Sharp, he's a tremendous single star, he's a tremendous tag team star, and no matter who his opponents are, he's going to give 110%. And it doesn't matter who his tag partner is either, because it is the same story. Morgan Sharp gets the job done. And ladies and gentlemen, we talk about individuals who have been blazing paths, who have risen through the ranks, gained the credentials. Look no further than Benjamin Boulder, former TV champion, the chromatic-haired warrior, making his way to the ring and giving the fans exactly what they want to see. High impact, high flying, high octane offense like you won't see anywhere else. And this pairing of Benjamin Boulder and Morgan Sharp may be an oddball pairing, but there is no bigger of an oddball pairing than Tony Samuels and Dan Darnister. Now going by the moniker, by the name, the label, the title of Kings Road. I believe this is the third iteration of this tag team all throughout the globe. And now we have the pleasure, the distinct pleasure of seeing this new manifestation of Kings Road here in CPW on Uproar. Dan Darnister, the man of few words. Verbally, he's not quite the most outspoken person. I see, on social media and in text messages, he's beginning to extend his vocabulary. But if you ask him anything in person, all he'll say is darn. And at Ultimatum, hot off the heels of that pay-per-view event, Tony Samuels and Dan Darnister gave the match of their lives. Different strategy than we've seen before, trying to go 50-50 in the matchup. Both men were basically obliterated by their opponents. Both men, I'm sure, still have concussions. And I wonder if tonight they're going to keep that same game plan. Referee Leonard Seymour back in the house for this Uproar event. And back in the house is Tony Samuels with a lariat. Release German suplex there, and Tony, the show stealer, starting to show off for us in a big way. A drop kick there on Morgan Sharp. But Morgan, he's not someone that's willing to just take offense on top of offense. He'll find a way to counter. He'll find a way to bring the momentum into his corner. And right now, even though it's not looking very good for Morgan, I know in the back of his mind, he's concocting a plan. He's devising some sort of strategy as double team action. Kings Road here in the outset of this match looking phenomenal. But just as I say that, Morgan Sharp dumping Dan Darnister on his head yet again. Sending him over into the corner in some tag team offense by this team of Balder and Morgan Sharp. Shining Wizard Russian leg sweep combination, and Dan Darnister coming off the ropes with a springboard forearm. Those forearm strikes are absolutely lethal from Darnister. Not in a position right now, Benjamin Balder is, that you really want to be in. Now taking the body blows from Dan Darnister, the striker here. And this oddball team looking real good, looking like they're going with a different strategy than we saw at Ultimatum. As Tony Samuels works on the arm of Benjamin Balder. Now Balder, we're used to seeing him in high-flying offense, mostly using the legs. But once you take the arms out of the equation, it becomes harder to hoist yourself up. Do those springboard maneuvers, those top rope maneuvers. And speaking of the leg offense, a head scissors there and a pinfall. Referee Leonard Seymour counting the one, but Tony Samuels kicks out. Aggressive strikes to the face there, just pummeling Tony. But Tony able to trip up his opponent, now looking to start some offense of his own, but Balder, the back and forth offense, hitting him with a sling blade and a drop kick. I said before, Benjamin Balder is no slouch as Tony Samuels looks to take on Benjamin Balder's tag team partner, Morgan Sharp, on the outside. This is a much more active, much more aggressive Tony Samuels than I expected to see. But Benjamin Balder showing some aggression of his own, going right after Darnister on the opposing side of the ring with a slingshot stunner, hot-shotting the neck of Dan Darnister, cutting off the airflow and cutting off the momentum that Tony Samuels might be able to accumulate throughout this match. That Poison Rana, that inverted Frankensteiner, for those who are watching, want to critique my move calling abilities. Going for a big knee there, but Balder unable to get it, and that firm base of Darnister able to keep him on his feet, but not for long. Looking to drop the elbow. Dan Darnister is balling out right now. The rolling lariat, the rolling clothesline has Balder in a bad way, and pickle flosion. Ladies and gentlemen, this could be it, but wait a minute. That darn drop kick missed. TDD missed. And Darnister, he could be distraught at this point, but he's keeping the pressure on. He missed his signature maneuver. He missed the maneuver he's finished his many matches with, but here he is continuing, fighting on. And what's he gonna do here? Darnister dialing it up, and I see a flash of blood here. And now it's about the time that Balder really desperately needs to get a tag here. Low cross body, and Darnister in his own, tagging in Tony Samuels. And Tony tagging, so to speak, Benjamin Balder with those hands. The leg is hooked, and referee Leonard Seymour counts a 1. But Morgan Sharp defending his tag team partner Benjamin Balder and not allowing this one to end so soon. Elbows to the midsection as Darnister fights out of that predicament he was in. But Balder, the back and forth. Balder gets the tag. Morgan Sharp is the legal man. Tony Samuels is the legal man. And now Tony finding his way to the canvas the hard way. Tony Samuels slam. Ladies and gentlemen, I thought that could have been it, but no. This match continues, as it seems that Tony Samuels wants to do a little bit of walking on ice. 2, but only a 2. And ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say congratulations to Leonard Seymour for making his way back to us. Finally, the crowd was clamoring for it. The fans on social media were clamoring for it and clamoring for a big move. Dan Darnister going to the outside to no avail. And same can be said for Morgan Sharp, throwing caution to the winds, unable to come up with much of anything there. And now the knee strikes of Morgan Sharp, the devastating knee strikes. It's what he's known for. And I thought he was going to be going for that high noon, but ladies and gentlemen, this one seems a little more unpredictable than I would have imagined. What the? The rolling cutter by Morgan Sharp, and now we're looking at some pummeling blows, some of those open fist palm strikes. Open hand, rather. Is Darnister a single leg dropkick on the outside, but bringing it back into the ring and going directly after Balder there. And Dan Darnister over the top rope. The vertical leap on that senton. Absolutely beautiful. Referee Leonard Seymour up to the count of 4. Of course, we do have up to the count of 20. And Darnister potentially allowing referee Leonard Seymour to count further than 4 here, as the action on the outside of the ring on that barely padded concrete continues. Seymour gesturing to the opponents in this matchup, to the competitors in this matchup, to bring it in the ring. And Tony Samuels doing a little extra here, as Morgan Sharp is now back in firm control, working on the arm. Just choking out Samuels with the feet, and that double knee strike to the chest. Morgan Sharp could be looking for high noon. but Tony had it scouted. Neither man can get the momentum to knock the other down. And a snapmare and a chop to the back, followed up by a nice little kick there, a nice cheeky little kick. Speaking of those, a few more for your displeasure, Morgan Sharp. As Darnister tagged in and going immediately after Benjamin Boulder yet again. Darnister on the top rope. What's he gonna do here? Thinks better of it. The legal man is in the ring, and now this gut wrench slam. May have learned that from Cammy B and Hisano at Ultimatum. And now Darn going for that darn drop kick again, but unable to hit it as Morgan Sharp tags in the chromatic haired warrior. You know, both of these men so accomplished. Dan Darnister, of course, one of our trainers in the Covenant Pro Wrestling Academy. And of course, Benjamin Boulder, former TV champion. But he could be potentially about to go down, but Morgan Sharp rushing to the aid. Wait a minute, the chromatic choke. The chromatic choke, that Dragon Slayer is locked in. Dan Darnister's gonna have to tap, but Tony Samuels saves the day, saves this matchup. And a sunset flip powerbomb clears the ring, and Boulder just disoriented as another one of those springboard forearms, those elbows, rains down. Tony continuing the assault on Boulder. And you hear the crowd feeling the intensity of those chops as Tony Samuels drives the knees into the back of Benjamin Boulder in a pinfall. Two, but a shoulder up. Tony, can he go the distance here? A huge elbow drop. Referee Leonard Seymour almost caught some of that. And now tagging in Darn. Could these two be sensing that the hard work is over and all that is left is to persevere? The leg is hooked here. Two, Morgan Sharp almost wasn't able to make it in there. And Boulder out on his feet, out like a light, and that darn drop kick, that darn could do it. But only a one as Morgan Sharp saves the day, saves the matchup for his teammate yet again. But ball in here, wait a minute. Miscommunication, malfunction at the junction, as my colleague Alexandra Shaw would say. And now tag team wrestling at its finest, a huge punch to the gut. And Benjamin Boulder somehow still standing, going for that standing Spanish fly, but elbows to the side of the head. And an X Factor. Wait a minute. High noon. This could be it. The leg is hooked. Referee Leonard Seymour in position one. But Dan Darnister able to save the matchup. Breaking up the pin. And now causing Morgan Sharp to rain down elbows like no other. Back and forth action continues. Back and forth. I don't know what we're talking about there, but a poison Rana. That is something I do know. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Samuels, if he didn't come in with a concussion, he's damn sure leaving with one. And Darn doing his damnedest, if you will, to continue the pressure on Benjamin Boulder, but Boulder taking advantage of the opportunity to add insult to injury. A drop kick by Tony Samuels, almost to the quality of Darnester, but the X Factor hit to perfection there. That face buster gives Benjamin Boulder and Morgan Sharp an opportunity to continue the assault. A series of lefts and rights, going for it again, but Tony not willing to relent, not willing to continue being just battered by Morgan Sharp. Hits a very stiff combination of blows and manages to get the tag. Darnester almost went after Boulder there, but decides to stay on the legal man. In that brief moment of hesitation, could have spelled the difference in that exchange. Wait a minute, the bullseye! Morgan Sharp, the leg is hooked, but not even a 1 count. These two teams are so in sync. They know where their partner is, they know where they need to be, and a high noon could be all she wrote here, unless Tony Samuels can somehow manage to break up. Wait a minute. Darnester did that on his own, by his darn self. The crowd is screaming tag team wrestling, and ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly what it is. A roll up here. Referee Leonard Seymour didn't even see it for a moment. 2. And a gut wrench throw. Unable to get the cover. Unable to keep those shoulders down, but Dan Darnester continues to engage and continues to be successful. Tony Samuels going in potentially for some sort of grapple or submission there. Morgan Sharp trying to assert his force, assert his dominance with that big leg lariat there. And we talk about quickness, we talk about athleticism. Benjamin Boulder, look at that, the leg is hooked. And a drop kick to the face breaks that one up big time. As Tony Samuels, a huge slam, and now yet again a tag. Dan Darnester with some rather intense offense. Any man that's willing to headbutt himself into your head is definitely someone you don't want to mess with. Darny raising his hands up, potentially gesturing for that darn dropkick to springboard TDD. The leg is hooked. This could be it. Boulder is completely out of this one. But just as I say that, Benjamin Boulder proves everyone wrong yet again. That darn dropkick right on target. But again, somehow, some way, sunset flip powerbomb. Benjamin Boulder has got to get a tag. He's done well deflecting and defending, but Morgan Sharp is his best chance at winning this matchup. And ladies and gentlemen, could we be seeing the end of this matchup here shortly? All of these men are tired. All of these men are exhausted. And once again, a giant slam from Morgan Sharp. That Falcon Arrow. And a dragon suplex. And yet again, right on the mark, bullseye. Morgan Sharp's got the leg hooked. One. But only one. Darnester dropping Morgan right on the top of his head. Doing a little break dancing, revving up the engines here, giving the people what they want. And maybe, just maybe, that is the opportunity that Benjamin Boulder needed to get that tag. And also, wait a minute here. Wait a minute. It might be time to put Benjamin Boulder down for his nap. And Morgan Sharp went for that drop kick, but it is over. The winners of this one, ladies and gentlemen, the debuting Kings Road. And you'll have to excuse me after that contest. I need a little bit of a breather. I need to get a sip of water in me, ladies and gentlemen. Dan Darnister and Tony Samuels, Kings Road here in CPW, and making an impact in a very, very big way. And now I hear, in terms of making an impact, we're going to hear a little bit from our CPW Women's Champion, Diamond Skylar, who defeated Lauren Osborne at Ultimatum. Diamond is no stranger to bringing her own hardware to the ring. You see her wielding that chair. And in the matchup at Ultimatum, that chair was definitely a difference maker. And definitely part of the reason why she now has that CPW Women's Championship around her waist. What? Laying out challenges? And Big Mad Cammy B is here to answer. The wife of Johnny D. And not just wife of Johnny D, she's an accomplished fighter here in CPW and around the world. Cammy B is one of the craziest women you'll ever meet. And right now she's bringing the crazy down to the ring to potentially talk to the even crazier Diamond Skylar. Two women locking eyes. This might be the start of something very... Wait a minute. Diamond Skylar just leaving the ring. But no matter, because in singles action, up next we have the unstoppable Liza Horror taking on Amber Arcade. Amber Arcade in her Covenant Pro Wrestling Uproar debut here. And I cannot wait to see what these two women bring to the table as we embark on the journey to the final countdown. Liza Horror is one of the most proven women on our roster, and Amber Arcade has the unique opportunity, we'll get to that a bit later, to test her mettle against Liza. Liza Horror, of course, is from the prestigious Horror family, the Chicago born and bred. And as we see referee Loretta Seymour at ringside, it's a family affair. From one powerful family to another, Liza Horror going to try to continue to cement her legacy here in CPW and prove why her family is one of the best in professional wrestling. But Amber Arcade, the street samurai, straight out of Cyberpunk 2077, it looks like. You know, I've heard many great things about Amber Arcade, and I am thrilled right now to have the opportunity to witness her in action here tonight. It's a treat for me, and I hope that you all watching at home consider it a treat for yourselves as well, because the women's division, the tag division, all of the divisions here in CPW are gearing up to be at their absolute pinnacle, coming up to the final countdown and beyond. Liza Horror looks poised to try to attain victory here. But Amber out of the gate, series of body shots and a backbreaker. Almost automatic 1 count, showcasing the strength of this young lady. And speaking of a showcase of strength, the military press slam. Like a sack of potatoes, or potatoes, as my grandfather would say. Liza Horror meets the canvas and now has to fight her way off of the back foot. A Pele kick ought to do it, or ought to be a start to it, as the double foot stomp combination allows Liza to show off some of her athleticism. Middle rope here, elbow drop right on the money, and Amber Arcade at this moment seems to be in a world of pain, but able to kick out at 1 as Liza Horror continues to apply the pressure The assault on the face and on the head, the combination is unrelenting. But now the Ambercon device is locked in, ladies and gentlemen. She has put thousands, and I mean thousands, of women to sleep with this all around the world. But Liza Horror able to fight her way out of it, but not only fight her way out, but to continue trying to mount an offense here, where many, as she gets hit with a rolling cutter, would not be able to. Only a 2 count there. A referee, Loretta Seymour, cannot believe what she's seeing, as Amber Arcade seems to be going for something big here. Going for that super Amber bomb. And just slapping the body of Liza Horror against the canvas, against the mat. And heading over into the corner. And a huge slap, tons of momentum, tons of force. And Liza, in desperation, trying her damnedest to keep on pushing through. And another Pele kick. Didn't know if she got all of that one. I know that the foot placement of Amber Arcade was shifting a little. It almost looked like she was able to avert it. But a reverse DDT slams Amber Arcade down, and this could be... Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, what the hell? We've seen Liza Horror go back to the well, that prodigy foot stomp. Yet again unleashed on Covenant Pro Wrestling, but the Ambercon device could be all she wrote. Amber Arcade locking in the pressure. Liza Horror trying to get herself released, and she does. And we could be seeing the end of it. Going yet again for that Amber bomb. Liza looks lifeless at this moment as Amber Arcade hooks the leg. Gets the 2 count, but it's going to take a lot more than that to keep Liza Horror down for the 3. And speak of the devil, the Amber bomb connects with authority as Amber Arcade tracks down. She's hunting the retreating Liza Horror, and now on the barely padded concrete, war is being waged. And Liza, thankfully able to avert that maneuver there. It could have been devastating for her if she was hit with that, but Liza knows what she's got to do, knows where she's got to be. Went for that prodigy foot stomp yet again, but instead hits Amber with a brutal running attack. That flipping, almost flipping fall away slam. What is this, ladies and gentlemen? Well, that wasn't California dreaming, but this might be a nightmare for the Horror. And I said horror. I'll tell you what, couldn't pick a harder to say last name It all kind of blends together and sounds like something else. Spine buster there. Amber feeling like she's gonna put an end to this one. And this Amber bomb attempt. And that could be it. The super Amber bomb. And ladies and gentlemen, Liza Horror somehow, someway is still in this one. The rolling. Wait a minute. This is another Seymour that's going to call rope breaks without any actual rope grabbing. Do we have to consult the CPW rule manual as that neck breaker takes down Amber Arcade? And a brain buster. Back and forth contest, but now back into a precarious position. And one too many times, Liza Horror has been in that position, and now she could be going for that prodigy foot stomp yet again. But only a 2. Ladies and gentlemen, all of this damage, all of this carnage, but only a 2. Liza Horror says she's got to do something more. And now this could be it. The shoulders are down, and Liza hit the red letter, but it wasn't quite enough. Trying to get back into this one. Trying to continue building the momentum. Liza's got Amber in a precarious position, and now things are looking up. Liza Horror is going to bet it all on red tonight, as the elbows in that knee joint. Listen, you can't stand, you can't hoist your opponent up for an Amber bomb. But the Amberconda Vice, that could be it. Liza Horror tapping out. Winner by submission, Amber Arcade. She calls herself the Street Ninja, and she definitely snuck away with that win. Liza Horror tapping out to the Amberconda Vice. And ladies and gentlemen, I cannot wait to see what the future has in store for Amber Arcade here on Uproar. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see the Kingsmen, the #1 contenders for the CPW Tag Team Championships, taking on Shane Roberts and Leo Carter. We haven't seen Shane Roberts and Leo Carter for quite some time, but LC and his boy Shane are back and taking on one of the most, accomplished, I guess you would say, tag teams in all of professional wrestling. LC looking a little bit different since the last time we saw him. This darker demeanor, this threatening presence, a far cry from the pretty boy we once knew, a far cry from the guy that wouldn't take us any selfies with his selfie stick on Covenant Pro Wrestling Uproar in his debut. Wouldn't even post us a YouTube short, and now I guess coming into his own, LC. I honestly don't quite know what to make of this. And I have to admit that this look, this appearance, this vibe from LC doesn't quite fit with his entrance music. So we might want to get with production here. Figure out a theme that works with whatever this is.
I just wanna be iconic. Sipping on a gin and tonic. Got me going off and I'm on this topic. If I ever play, I want it. You know that I'm always honest. Stay away from those who are toxic. Keep my face no way.
Kind of a strange choice to have your pyro going off in the ring where your tag team partner has to leave it. But Shane Roberts super kicking since day one. Shane Roberts, dual contracted superstar here in Covenant Pro Wrestling. He of course has a CPW contract, but also has a contract with SCW. And we're not one of those companies that shies away from acknowledging the branding or the existence of others. So acknowledge that t-shirt on I'm assuming scw.com. Shane Roberts looking a little different since the last time we saw him, looking a little strange in his demeanor as well. Has his time in SCW created a potential champion? I don't know, he's acting like he's a champion. But speaking of championships, the team that is next in line for the gold is no other than this team of Dr. Wrestling Jr. and Johnny Gemini, collectively known as the Kingsmen. But wait a minute here. The tag team champions Shaq Harnish and Butch assaulting the Kingsmen here. And they've just been taken out of this match. These two are proud of themselves. But wait a minute, LC and Shane Roberts have not lost a step. And it seems to me like we're going to see tag team competitions with the champions and LC and Shane Roberts. Ladies and gentlemen, Loretta Seymour officiating this matchup. Not one that I expected to see, but not one that I'm mad at either. The tag team champions taking on a very well-established tag team in CPW. Butch working on LC at the moment, but LC not willing to allow that to be the case for long. The double underhook suplex sending Butch into the corner, but Butch always finding a way to counter, always finding some little space, if you will, to assert momentum in his direction. And LC, even though he's got this face paint, doesn't seem to have lost his arrogance at all. Just stomping away on every limb, every extremity of Butch. LC takes him down with a lariat, and Butch tagging in the big guns. Jack Harnage, thumbtack Jack, going for a spear right out of the gate. Shane Roberts tries his luck with a standing moonsault, but thumbtack Jack bringing him up for a big boy power bomb. And just snapping the neck. But Shane Roberts, the man who calls himself your hero, showing a little bit of heroics here tonight. Getting just tossed into the corner, allowing Jack Harnage to tag in the Lunatic, only known as Butch, and Lunatic versus Lunatic yet again. LC going for a pinfall here. And yet again, that neck breaker double underhook suplex combination. But now a forearm to the back of the head sends the Lunatic, only known as Butch, down to what we only know as the canvas. Going from that sleeper hold into the slam. Sends Butch down for a moment, but Shane Roberts tagged in. Can't seem to gain any momentum. Grabbing that arm. And did you see the full force of Shane Roberts' body fall directly onto his wrist? Northern Lights suplex. A rolling cutter. And now Jack Harnage. Thumbtack Jack sent off the ropes. And Shane Roberts looking poised to take advantage of this. In the corner, some double team action perhaps. Sends him into a super kick. And hits that pedigree, that underhook face buster. With this brutal combination, the hell no kicks by Butch. Or by Jack Harnage, rather. Apologies for getting the name wrong, but truly these two are like an extension of one another. Butch and Jack Harnage are basically synonymous with pain, basically synonymous with one another. And the strength of Shane Roberts somehow able to hoist the behemoth known as Jack Harnage. Those corkscrew moonsaults showing not only the strength but the athleticism, of the speed, of just the ability to keep on target, keep on the money. And we've seen it once, and maybe we're gonna see it twice. Super kick, facebuster combination. As LC suicide dive through the ropes on the barely padded concrete. LC must stand for a little crazy, because he's certainly acting a little crazy here tonight. All in jest, everybody, but Leo Carter definitely asserting himself in a way that we wouldn't expect. And now looking for a way to assert himself that doesn't involve something like this. The sleeper hold by Jack Harnage potentially has LC fading. No, I'm looking at LC now. I'm looking at the man I knew as LC a few months ago. I'm looking at what I'm currently seeing, and I just have to ask, who hurt this man? What did somebody do to harm this most unpleasant individual? The double tap, that'll definitely harm him. And another tap, Jesus Christ. But only a 1 count. Harnage tagging in Butch, that extension of himself. The only man that truly understands what it's like to be an absolute maniac. The only other man, I guess I should say. As LC tosses the tag team champion over into the corner. This team of Jack Harnage and Butch rather are the only individuals that were able to retain their championships at Ultimatum. And with contenders like the Kingsmen, with opponents like LC and Shane Roberts, you have to wonder, as the count has started to Final Countdown and also the pinfall, how much longer will this team, the Asylum, be able to retain? Northern Lights suplex, and just deadlifting on that traditional suplex, if you will. That Poison Rana inverted Frankensteiner. And a tag. LC bringing Shane, bringing your hero back into the ring. And a sliding drop kick. Straight jacket suplex. Butch could be ending it here, but one. Not even a one. Not even. The tag team wrestling tonight has been, bar none, some of the best that we have ever seen throughout recent history. CPW has done a huge effort to try and reinvigorate the tag team division here, and it is showing. Special thanks to whoever the Clarks hired for the booking team, because we're getting to see matches like this each and every Uproar. What's tripping up LC? Taking out that leg. And you know, if LC doesn't have that leg at his disposal, he cannot do his running knee strike. He cannot do that knee of life, and he potentially cannot be able to hit as effectively the LC cutter. It does involve some leaving your feet, some jumping. And if you take the impact, the power out of those legs, The move won't be hit the same. And speaking of won't be the same, LC hitting that bottom rope. And with a headbutt there, I think, you know, speaking of won't be the same, I think our buddy Butch will be just fine. And a little bit of almost, you know, neurological issues being shown on the part of LC. That shaking arm syndrome of sorts. As a wheelbarrow neck breaker has Butch in a bad way. LC motioning for something big, a suicide dive. Sending the lunatic back into the ring. And LC standing on the outside, catching his breath. But waiting for Butch to get up. Saying he's got something to prove. A 2 count, but Shane Roberts. They're in the nick of time. Knee strike, the spinning kick, Butch going up to the top. Motioning for LC to get up to his feet. What's he got planned here? As we see the action continue on the outside, Butch going for something big. The straitjacket DDT. But Shane Roberts breaking it up before there's even a 1 count. Those rapid stomps to the back, sending a direct message to LC. And the Leviathan here, Butch, sending in the big guns yet again. Jack Harnage, here to cause carnage. Wheel kick from the top rope, athleticism you wouldn't see from a man that big anywhere else. A 2 count. But, you know, CPW is where you're going to see it all. You're going to see guys doing things they shouldn't be able to do. Like deflecting an attack from a bus-like man. And now, as the count has begun for LC, Butch is the legal man here in the ring. Dazed on his feet perhaps, but taking advantage of the opportunity to breathe and taking advantage of the opportunity to bust open his opponent here. But maybe, just maybe, that's the momentum that the opposing team needed to say, hey, we've got to put this one away. And that forearm to the back of the head, that strike, sending Jack Harnage down. Jack, I thought he was going for a tag there, but instead decides to turn around and now potentially living to regret it. Shane Roberts went for the Shining Wizard there. And going up to the top rope. Absolute no connection there. But all of that did connect. Jack Harnage hooking the leg, but only a 1. Referee Loretta Seymour wondering how much longer she's got to work this match. Shane for a moment I thought was going for the WSK, but unable to hit it. And now on the outside, Harnage, Roberts going head to head, a hip toss by Roberts. And I cannot believe the strength that I am seeing out of Shane tonight. I cannot believe the intensity as he goes for that armbar. Looking like the man of 1,004 holds here. But Jack Harnage finding a way. Abandoning all, desire to basically protect himself. Anytime you see a guy that's willing to contort himself in ways he's not supposed to bend, and willing to continue an assault on an opponent using his, I guess his teeth. How's he trying to bite somebody through that mask? There's a will, there's a way, and Jack Harnage definitely has the will to endanger his opponents, if you will. And the WSK right on the money. But Shane cannot capitalize on that maneuver. He's trapped in the opposing corner and now slides to the outside of the ring. If he just had the wherewithal, had the ring awareness to roll over, to crawl over the Harnage, that could have been it. And oh my God, Jack Harnage doing some damage there with that pile driver as he sends Butch in to handle his lightweight. Butch going up top here. What's he gonna do? He's motioning for LC. And a Superman punch. No, a lunatic punch from the top rope. An enormous headbutt. Not gonna rattle any brain cells at all on lunatic known as Butch. I think he's got 2 left and one's giving CPR to the other. But it doesn't matter because what he does best is this. And that is all that matters. And a power bomb over in the corner. LC in a bad way. Once again, it's raining punches here on CPW Uproar. And LC was not on the correct side of that exchange. And now we're inside the 10-minute mark on this matchup, with no signs of either of these teams slowing down. Butch seems dazed and confused on the outside of the ring, or on the inside of the ring with his opponent on the outside. Jesus Christ, everybody, I'm having a night. And holy shit, Jack Harnage, a shooting star press, springboarded. Special shout out to my broadcast colleague Alexandra Shaw, who could not be here tonight because she got a case of mono. That is, in fact, the kissing disease. And kissing the apron of the ring, Shane Roberts, not having a good night. Kind of like me tonight. You know, I'm not at my best. I'm a little off balance, not on my toes, so to speak. But neither is Jack Harnage as the leg is hooked. And this one could be over. But Jack fights back. And LC, the arrogance yet again. In a straitjacket DDT. LC has been busted open. LC has been brought to his limit. And the only thing keeping him in this one, perhaps, is his tag team partner, Shane Roberts. Over the shoulder, dropped like a boulder, snake eyes. And an enziguri attempt, but Butch somehow able to stay on his feet, a springboard forearm. And there again we see the face of Leo Carter. Black and white and red all over. And another straitjacket DDT. Leo Carter. Could this be it? But Shane freaking Roberts in the ring, defending his partner here, breaking up these pinfall attempts. And again. And now a hammer throw to the outside. As Butch seems to be a little fed up with this situation. Wait a minute. What does Butch have in mind here? A powerbomb position. LC fighting back. Ladies and gentlemen, this match is unfolding right in front of the commentary desk here. And Jack Harnage bringing the action back in the ring, setting Butch up for an opportunity to continue the punishment, to make sure the next time he tries to pull off a maneuver that his opponent Leo Carter is unable to counter. And a DDT. I was going to say there, it looked like Butch was a little slow in that exchange, a little winded. Looked like he needed a tag, and thankfully for this team, they are able to get that tag. But now, tagged on the back of the head, Jack Harnage also in a bad situation. And the sole of that boot hitting the midsection, a 2 count, and now a tag. And the crowd yet again off their feet, or on their feet, out of their chairs. I don't know about you guys, but I'm almost levitating here. I'm so damn excited for Covenant Pro Wrestling Uproar because we're inside the 5-minute mark here. And no man seems like they are slowing down at all. And a rope break. The wherewithal, the ring awareness, we spoke about that a little bit earlier in a previous contest. And ladies and gentlemen, I have to admit, that is how you do it. That is how you stay in a matchup, even when you're on the back foot. But wait a minute. A gut wrench Sherman off of the flip. Jack Harnage We talk about people doing things they have no business doing, they shouldn't be doing. And Jack Harnage keeps demonstrating time and time again exactly what it's like to see that. Tossed into the barricade. Those are much thicker barricades than we had before. We got the industrial ones here. We're moving up in Covenant Pro Wrestling. No longer do we have on Uproar those high school gymnasium barricades. Those ones, the ones we have now, they don't move. They don't shift. If you get rocked on one of those, it may as well be over. And LC going for that big slam there. You know, I have to admit that I'm seeing here on my roster, on my information, I don't believe I have the most current details and demographics regarding the maneuvers of these men. But I'm doing my damn best here, as this could be over. As Jack Harnage somehow able to keep fighting, able to get the tag. Ladies and gentlemen, we're inside the 2-minute mark of this matchup. 1 minute and 40 here. And I have to admit of this matchup, these series of tag team matches have got me winded. And speaking of getting winded, that attempt at a splash there, he didn't quite get all of it, going back for seconds. It's almost like Thanksgiving here. And Jack Harnage is happy to oblige as the Hell No Kicks connect. Thumbtack Jack puncturing the chest and the head of his opponent, Leo Carter. We see that LC is busted open. We see that Jack Harnage is going after that wound like a shark. And now this could be the beginning of the end, or the end of the end, because we're inside 30 seconds here of this matchup. And a pinfall now is all it's going to take. Headbutt. Leg is hooked. Ladies and gentlemen, 12 seconds to go. And Butch is incensed. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it. We've got our first draw ever in Uproar history. But wait a minute, what the hell is going on here in the backstage area? That's Troy Winters. Troy Winters, who was brutally stabbed by the entertainer some weeks ago, is here in Phoenix, Arizona. The crowd is chanting, "Holy shit!" And I agree. Troy Winters making his return. But now, ladies and gentlemen, this one is for all the marbles. In the case of Pinkish versus Dower Ranger, we have EXO versus Robot, or whatever Dower Ranger is, because the EXO is going to feel the power of Dower up next, and it is for his TV championship. Will he be able to hold on to the strap that he won at Ultimatum, or is Dower Ranger finally in for some championship gold? Pinata in hand, and it's time for a party. Downward Ranger in full effect. Viva Pinata in Phoenix, Arizona. Downward Ranger looks poised, looks ready, looks focused. By that expressionless face, I can tell he is ready for this one. It's a series of beeps and boops. If you listen to the servos, it'll tell you all you need to know. The bot with the power meets the EXO from the tower. The Traveler's chosen hunter, Pinkish, our TV champion, making his way down to the ring. And let me tell you, this man, this EXO, has been a champion all over the globe, all over the galaxy, throughout other galaxies. So I imagine tonight he is not going to lay that crown down easy. No pun intended. We do know that Pinkish wears that crown very frequently. I like to call him King Pinkish. And right now, Pinkish is the king of television. Crown is heavy, but that EXO is prepared to hold it. Dower Ranger stretching out his lower extremities, all lubed up and ready to go. And Pinkish handing that beautiful belt, that gem of a title belt, off to the referee in just a moment. And we see referee Leonard Seymour showing Dower Ranger what it's all about, and Dower seems prepared to become king of TV as well. Both men going for heavy offense out of the gate, and neither one able to get it done with that Uranagi there. Able to get some of the damage, some of the force inflicted onto Dower Ranger, but Dower slamming the head in a red alert already. The systems of Pinkish not functioning as well as they should. All of these heavy head collisions on the canvas are definitely, as Pinkish locks in that hold, a rope break called. All of those heavy impacts on the head are definitely, sure to impact some of those memory core units. And I think both of these bots, both of these beings, if you will, have similar strategies. Find the weak point, find the blind spot, and go after it. Pinkish He's going for something big there. So was Dower, but Pinkish caught the legs, tripping him up. And definitely trying to knock something out of alignment here. Pinkish was going to work on those lower extremities. Those lubed up lower extremities, if you will, as I mentioned before. But drops the robot known as Dower Ranger. Insecurity drops Pinkish to the canvas. And Dower off the springboard senton, giving it all he's got. A standing shooting star press. And tossing Pinkish in to the barricade. The barely padded concrete is a war zone, and Dower Ranger bringing the party back into the ring as a result. Referee Leonard Seymour to the count of 5, and now Dower goes for a Hurricane Rana, but Pinkish slams him down with authority. A powerbomb on the barely padded concrete. And a crucifix powerbomb. Ladies and gentlemen, the shoulders are down. Referee Leonard Seymour says it was only a 2. And now Pinkish in a bad way here. Needs to find a way to separate himself from the turnbuckle, but I guess all that's going to happen here is Dower Ranger doing it for him. Pinfall was a 2. And the standing Shiranui there. And Dower going for that drop kick. But now the Thunder Crash, crashing down on the knee of Pinkish. Pinkish is showing a new level of aggression here. Potentially turning the limiter off. Trying to teach a lesson. And the disrespect. Pinkish a corkscrew springboard maneuver. Sends Dower Ranger down to the barely padded concrete. Referee Leonard Seymour on the count of 3. A Hurricane Rana there by Dower Ranger. And ladies and gentlemen, after the 2 tag team contests we saw earlier, calling this one in addition is a fate worse than death for me here. as Dower Ranger breaks up the count. As Pinkish power bombs Dower on the outside. And going for the Thunder Crash on the outside. Dower somehow able to deflect it. Tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. The full force of Pinkish dropped on the knee of Dower Ranger. Thought Dower was going to go for a forearm or an elbow, but instead just a huge kick to the gut. Now a combination. Can you see the lightning? Can you hear the thunder? This one could be over. But only a 2. At this point in the matchup, Pinkish is starting to bring out some offense that we really didn't expect to see. We didn't know if this matchup was going to go in this direction. We didn't know it was going to be an all-out assault here. As Dower Ranger seems to be fighting for his life against the champion. Dower, of course, is a fan favorite, and Pinkish, he's got people walking a line down the middle. They don't know if they love him or if they hate him, but Pinkish, he's got to love what he's seeing right now. But Dower, an elbow strike, flipping himself over. Dower Ranger, this could be it. Going for another one here. Dower Ranger's going for the New Japan finish. The legs are hooked. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new TV champion at 2. But only a 2. Dower Ranger trying to get back into this one. Trips Pinkish up. All the momentum is on the side of Dower. The crowd is chanting, "This is awesome!" Another! But no! No! Pinkish is able to counter! And ladies and gentlemen, a Thunder Crash! A Thunder Crash! 1, 2, 3! Ladies and gentlemen, your winner and still CPW TV champion, the XO known as Pinkish, the 8th Coyote, the Traveler's Chosen Hunter, the man who had Ultimatum withstood the Chamber and now withstood his closest competitor, Pinkish. Wait a minute. Pinkish shoving off referee Leonard Seymour. And what a title reign this is going to be. As I'm told, we're going to hear from Hisano. Hisano, I'm told, has something to say. She's got something on her mind, and I, for one, am glad that I am not going to be the one talking for a few brief moments. Hisano, of course, at Ultimatum, took on Cammy B in that steel cage, that Yakuza steel cage match. Coming up victorious. And now I assume whatever she has to say is relative to that. Wait a minute. That's Belle Florent. She's got an ankle lock on somebody. Wait a minute, that's Selena Adams. Selena Adams is being assaulted in the backstage area by Labette de Bordeaux, Belle Florent. The difference maker in Killer Instinct. The biggest pretender of them all. Wait a minute. This is a low blow here. And the crowd letting Heath know exactly what they think. A weak and pathetic fraud. Bold words from Hisano. But speaking of people who are the real deal, American Instinct, Seth Dallas and Colin Prince taking on the future Kenny Mitch and the Demon from Youngstown, Johnny D, up next. American Instinct, of course, made their debut in CPW at Ultimatum. If you have not yet checked out that show, I would recommend that you do so. But right now, hold your horses, cause action is on the way. The future, as we lovingly call him, the busboy. Kenny Mitch making his way out to the ring with quite the odd tag team partner in tow, or soon to be in tow. I don't quite understand the pairing of Johnny D and Kenny Mitch, but Kenny Mitch with the perfect pitch must have had the perfect pitch to get the Demon from Youngstown on board. And speak of the Demon, here is the devil himself, Youngstown, Ohio's own Jonathan Davenport. Johnny D, incredible single star, has shown promise in tag team contests before. And he's never quite caught his footing here in CPW. He's always come up short. He's always clamored to be part of the title picture. And perhaps in the tag team division with Kenny Mitch, a man known as the future too can be bright for Jonathan Davenport. But before we get to the future, we have to deal with the present and presently. American Instinct, Seth Dallas and Colin Prince making their way to the ring. It strikes me that neither of these men are, at least I don't believe so, are American. Well, I guess Seth Dallas is. I think Seth Dallas is from Carson City, Nevada. But truly, he wasn't even born in America, so. And Colin Prince, we know damn well he's not American. This tag team confuses the shit out of me. Well, what's not confusing is the fact that these two can get the job done. And Kenny Mitch starting this one off with the chopper, Seth Dallas. And speaking of chops, heavy-handed in the beginning. Drop kick there, almost takes Seth Dallas off his feet. A springboard cutter. Seth Dallas, the Dally cutter, already in this one. The leg is hooked. Referee Leonard Seymour counts to 1, but Kenny Mitch will let him go no further. And Kenny picking up the big boy Colin Prince like he's weightless. And Dallas doesn't like what he's seeing. And just slams Kenny Mitch down with authority. That face buster. Thought he was going to go for a lung blower there. But blowing the lungs out of Johnny D on the way back into the ring makes up for it. Kip up there. Seth Dallas looking good. And now Kenny Mitch. Kenny Mitch in recent history has had issues with one of his eyes. And I have to imagine that the damage that is still healing has been re-damaged here. It's been reopened, that cut. Seth Dallas, the bullet kick. And Kenny Mitch, you see the evidence there? The blood is flowing. And only a 2 count. Johnny D breaks up the pinfall. And Colin Prince follows up to make sure that he gets the hell out of the ring. A bullet kick yet again. And here we go. He's going to go ahead and put forearm. But speaking of performances, Johnny D looking to put on a clinic here, looking to put on a performance to get the spotlight back onto him, back onto his team, as he tosses the limp body of Seth Dallas back into his corner. Seth looked like he was going for something big there, but a back body drop and a tag. And the tag team inexperience of Kenny Mitch allowing Colin Prince to get back into this one. And the spitball, Kenny Mitch. Lightning quick there. Colin Prince narrowly averts that one. Almost wasn't able to kick out there. And the crowd yet again fiendish for this tag team wrestling as Jonathan Davenport takes on the big boy Colin Prince. And a huge haymaker blast, a huge punch, a huge hammer. And speaking of getting hammered, Seth Dallas, single leg drop kick, and that lung blower. Going for it again, perhaps. Taking the oxygen out of the lungs of Kenny Mitch. And Kenny Mitch taking Seth Dallas clear out of this matchup. I've seen a lot of aggressive tag team wrestling here tonight as the big boot from Seth Dallas connects. And he's looking to go ahead and perform. But yet again, Kenny Mitch has an answer for almost everything Seth Dallas wants to throw at him. Seth getting a little frustrated. Kenny got caught for a moment. Thought he was going to go for that heat seeker. Then he went for the perfect pitch. Went for that spitball. Kenny Mitch with the perfect pitch. You know, not quite perfect here tonight because Seth Dallas hit him with his own damn move. And Johnny D getting hit with the apron here. The vertical leap on Seth Dallas is quite impressive. Somehow able to just leap into the sky and drop all of his weight down. And a Uranagi, that dark Uranagi by Kenny Mitch, a page out of the playbook of Jonathan Davenport. And Kenny getting the tag to Johnny D. The leg is hooked. But only a 2 count. Ladies and gentlemen, excuse me while I take a sip of water as Colin Prince hooks the leg. Seth Dallas in the ring, but Kenny Mitch also in the ring, averting that crisis. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Ladies and gentlemen, unbelievable. Johnny D with that demon's grip. A submission victory for Jonathan Davenport and Kenneth Mitch, if you will. Looking pretty damn good together against this team of American Instinct. We see the wound on the eye of Kenny Mitch. And Johnny D seems to be leaving his partner high and dry, and Seth Dallas taking advantage. A brutal combination there. And Kenny Mitch has been laid out as Seth Dallas has a chair in hand. The auxiliary referee here trying to get some order in this chaos. And Johnny D, wait a minute. Johnny D the Uranagi on Kenny Mitch, saying thumbs down to Kenny Mitch, the future. Taken down by Johnny D, and that Demon's grip locked in again, and Colin Prince just gesturing, joking, laughing at Kenny Mitch, who's out on his feet. And a German suplex. And a lariat flips Kenny Mitch inside out. Ladies and gentlemen, carnage is unfolding here. And Kenny Mitch is at the receiving end of an absolute brutal beating. And Johnny D and American Instinct somehow forging an alliance, waging war against the future Kenny Mitch. And this is a sign of things to come, and it does not look good for CPW Uproar. But ladies and gentlemen, now we are here finally at our main event triple threat action. Diego Ryan, Dragon Kid, the Dragon Hero, taking on William Black, the Wolf of War, and Mac Daddy Furnace. I cannot wait to see this one unfold. We've seen a night of non-stop action. And ladies and gentlemen, it's only going to get crazier from here, because these three men want nothing more than to give you every ounce of energy they have. And William Black coming off, a loss to Kenny Mitch. Wait, did he lose? Shit, I don't even know anymore. The Wolf of War, he's here. Don't ask me to know the own show I work for, the only show that I work for. No, we didn't lose to Kenny Mitch. But then again, does William Black ever really lose? Ladies and gentlemen, going head to head with, a former CPW TV champion and a former tag team champion, plus a winner of a golden opportunity, a unique opportunity at Ultimatum. William Black is going to have his hands full. And one of these days, ladies and gentlemen, I will Stop soloing these commentaries, or somebody will stop booking so many damn tag matches. But speaking of one of these days sometime soon, that man Dragon Kid Diego Ryan, former gymnast, now professional wrestler, is going to be a world champion. And I am being told that this match has some sort of involvement with title contention, and in later weeks, in the coming weeks, we'll find out exactly what that means. But Mac Daddy Furnace making his way out to the ring, and the only thing that he means is business. Talking cash flow, blood flow, and ego. Mac Daddy Furnace looking to avenge the loss that he suffered at Ultimatum. He was not able to withstand the chamber. He lost his television championship. And now, almost unfazed, is in the main event here on CPW Uproar. In the main event. William Black starting things off against Dragon Kid. Biggest man in the matchup going after the smallest man in the matchup. And as usual, Mac Daddy Furnace making the most of an opportunity. And a showcase of strength as Mac Daddy Furnace clears the ring. Going after the arm of the Wolf of War, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is elimination rules. So you won't see Dragon Kid trying to break up any pinfalls. You won't see William Black doing any of that either. You may see Mac Daddy Furnace doing it, but it's because he's not very smart. That's all it really is. William Black sending Dragon Kid to the outside, and now just pummeling, beating the chest of Diego Ryan. That forearm like a meat tenderizer there. And as usual, in triple threat action, there are no rules, there are no disqualifications. Dragon Kid swinging and swinging and swinging. That kendo stick connecting with William Black. Truly a David and Goliath combination, as Mac Daddy Furnace, I thought, was going up top. Standing Spanish fly. Going after another one of those kendo sticks. Dragon Kid had some good luck with those lately, especially tonight. And a stomp by Mac Daddy Furnace. I believe that William Black caught the edge of that table. And an inverted Frankenstein or the Poison Rana on the barely padded concrete. Mac Daddy Furnace. Jeez. And you never know what you're gonna get in these kinds of contests. And ladies and gentlemen, the box office breaker. But William Black taking advantage, able to get a 1 count there, but not able to keep the former CPW TV champion down. Dragon Kid, 2 count. Able to kick out here. And a rolling neck breaker. Mac Daddy Furnace has the kendo stick in hand, seemingly waiting on William Black, but William, the Wolf's Clutch is locked in. Mac Daddy Furnace could be fading, but no. Referee Leonard Seymour is surveying the area and has said that this one is not over. There was no submission in the match. Continues. Dragon Kid continues his assault. And William Black looking to discontinue the enormous amount of pressure that he's under. As the rolling cutter on Dragon Kid is effective. It's got him reeling, going to the outside, and a Hurricane Rana. And that neck breaker yet again. Dragon Kid in his element, fired up. Taking both of his opponents down. A series of lariats here. And a drop kick to top it off. Dragon Kid showing he's got guts, he's got grit. And now, the Bahamut Espiritu. That could be it. The Bahamut Espiritu, the Fire Spirit Dragon Kid. William Black busting open DK, and now Mac Daddy Furnace trying to bust open his potential for a win here. And bringing the weaponry is a good way to try to do that. As the German suplex almost sends Mac Daddy Furnace colliding with the barricade. William Black is feeling it. The intensity is palpable here. And Mac Daddy Furnace somehow, in a matter of seconds, has the Wolf of War, the Jarl of Wrestling, out on his feet. Sending it back into the ring, and ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you caught it, but that contusion on the face of Dragon Kid is gushing. Wait a minute. The King Killer right in front of William Black. And Mac Daddy Furnace clearing off the Turkish announce table. Could he have plans for that in the future? William Black somehow back in this one, sending Mac Daddy Furnace across the arena, going head to head with Dragon Kid. Back and forth. I think DK caught the edge of that chair. DK disorienting Mac Daddy Furnace, a man otherwise known as Matthew Price, our former TV champion, out like a light on the barricade. But now showing signs of life. Mac Daddy Furnace and Dragon Kid on the outside. William Black on the inside, getting to his feet and getting into some trouble. A steel chair. Mac Daddy Furnace sending DK around. Wait a minute. Sending him around again. And Mac is disoriented. What the hell? William Black taking advantage of the situation. Mac Daddy Furnace walking into a chair and somehow still in this one. Wait a minute. DK is in trouble. I think he went for that box office breaker, but DK had it scouted. And now going after the Norse god, the Norse warlord, the Wolf of War, William Black. DK not concerned with the kendo stick, only concerned with hitting that triple rotation moonsault. The leg is hooked, but only a 2. And the pump and dump scheme could potentially steal a big pinfall here. Unbelievable. The Bahamut Espiritu, otherwise known as the Bahamut Espresso Shot, Mac Daddy Furnace kicks out. And DK swinging that chair away, but is unable to connect with it. But now the Bahamut Espiritu hit on Mac Daddy Furnace again, but William Black able to disrupt the exchange. That could have very well been a pinfall for Diego Ryan, but now we see the matchup is changing. William Black, I think, was going for that King Killer. And he hits it. And DK somehow kicks out. And another King Killer. Max Daddy Furnace. Could that be all she wrote for the former CPW TV champion? But no. The strike combination, release German suplex. Dragon Kid's got the kendo. And DK reversing. And now the Bahamut Espiritu. The Fire Spirit, that could be it for William Black, but only a 2. Referee Leonard Seymour cannot believe what he is officiating. And Dragon Kid like a missile. Max Daddy Furnace like something out of the Matrix. And William Black busting open Mac Daddy Furnace. That arm wrench, bulldog facebuster like maneuver. And the Poison Rana. The Fire Spirit, Bahamut Espiritu, otherwise known as the Bahamut Espresso Shot. And that is it for William Black. And a knee to the face, further damaging that eye socket, that orbital region of Dragon Kid. And connecting flush with the chair, Mac Daddy Furnace. I think he's signaling that the time for games is over, but Dragon Kid is still prepared to play here tonight. Irish whipping Mac Daddy Furnace into the corner and potentially going for another one of those kendo sticks. No, this time a chair. And DK on the guardrail. The fans in the front row getting their money's worth. And a low blow. A low blow by Mac Daddy Furnace could be the difference maker. All legal under triple threat rules here in CPW. Mac going for another brutal shot, but taking out the knee of Mac Daddy Furnace. Dragon Kid finds a way to continue. The quickness, the speed, the determination, the aim with that chair shot. Diego Ryan is truly on fire tonight. And another low blow connects with its target. Mac Daddy Furnace grabbing that kendo stick. And putting it to use. A crucifix bomb on the outside. Mac Daddy Furnace destroying that kendo on Dragon Kid and now continuing to toss Diego Ryan all around the arena. Another shot with a kendo connects. Mac Daddy Furnace. Wait a minute. The Bahamut Espiritu on the outside. The pinfalls don't matter on the outside, but Dragon Kid doesn't seem to care. He's doing what he's got to do to stay in this one. Chopping the back, connecting with a huge kick. Dragon Kid. Unrivaled toughness in CPW. And going for another of those suplexes. But Mac counters. DK too quick, a dragon screw. Aptly named for the dragon spirit. And that inverted Frankenstein or the Poison Rana. On the outside in the kendo. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a night of kendo sticks and chairs. But is it the night of Dragon Kid? Can Mac Daddy Furnace somehow get back into this one? These are the stories that we see unfold each and every Saturday on Covenant Pro Wrestling. Huge suplex on the barely padded concrete. Mac Daddy Furnace seems to have a second wind here. Goes for a single leg drop kick. Unable to hit it. And Mac, it's not pretty, but it's effective Russian leg sweep, sending the spine of Dragon Kid into the barricade. And yet another kendo stick bites the dust here. And Mac Daddy Furnace calling for the end. Pinfall, referee Leonard Seymour in perfect position, a 2. But Dragon Kid somehow kicks out. But ladies and gentlemen, the box office breaker seems to be incoming, but no. DK. Ladies and gentlemen, the leg is hooked. And that is it. Back and forth carnage all night long. Ladies and gentlemen, Dragon Kid Diego Ryan, the winner of the unique opportunity, is now the winner of this triple threat match. And what is that unique opportunity? What does it mean for Dragon Kid? Find out next time in 2 weeks on Covenant Pro Wrestling Uproar. Thank you for joining us and tune in every week. You'll see us with Origins next week and the week after for more Uproar. Like, share, subscribe for more CPW.